So, Berkshire County, fantastic film. Alyssa King, Audrey Cummings, thank you so much for coming here today and sharing your fantastic talent with us on screen. So, just tell us about your film and sort of just what made you decide to make a horror film? What made you decide to make this one specifically?
Well, I guess there's a bunch of I have several scripts and trying to decide which one is going to be. This is my first feature. I've done 9 shorts before this, and I think it was really just trying to figure out, okay, which is going to be my first feature film, and because I ended up putting a lot of my own money into the film, which one would sort of guarantee me more my returns and my money back, and that I could do a good job with, and kind of, win-win. And I just decided to go with this film, and it's a horror thriller, and it's a lot harder to make than you would think.
Sure.
But it paid off really well for us. The film's been doing really, really well, and hopefully get all my money back soon.
So you were talking earlier about the horror genre,
yeah,
and it just being this, incredibly lucrative genre, but also maybe a little bit of freedom to explore creatively. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Maybe the genre, and also I'd love to hear an acting perspective as well on the horror genre.
Yeah, which is nice because you can actually just really go places in a horror film
Yeah, for sure. Like your imagination is your own limitation with horror, right? Like you can go anywhere and do anything. People can come back to life.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And as a female actor too, you have potential to kind of turn the stereotype on its head and kick ass sometimes,
Yeah, because you had a good role in this film for that.
And I do see a lot of female leads in the horror genre as well. I mean, it is an opportunity for a strong female protagonist, is it not? I mean, Kylie's character, Alyssa plays Kylie in the film, and she really does act out of strength for the children, who are fantastic actors too.
Yeah, they're great, for sure.
So, did you have any complications on set? I mean, you hear horror stories of your own.
Yeah.
Forgive me for the pun, but you hear horror stories of your own about filming on set with horror films. Can you tell us anything about that?
Yeah, there's a million problems every day on every film that I've done. So it's nothing new. But the house went into foreclosure where we were shooting halfway through. Oh yeah, and the sheriff came and he was going to lock the doors on us and basically gave us a week. So we had to, what I was planning to shoot in a 2-week period, I kind of had to condense and get it done in 1 week, and we had to switch up the shooting schedule and change everything. It was just
nights
crazy.
To days to
do
nights
rewrites.
To,
I mean, it was just mayhem. But
intense,
it was really intense. We survived it.
Wow.
And, it's a funny thing. I kind of get the feeling that every time you're put up against these crazy situations in your film and you got to try to find ways around it, somehow the creative choices become more interesting.
Absolutely.
And so I find some of the stuff, like, as much as you're thinking, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this, and then you do and you're like, I would have never thought to do it this way.
Sure.
And I actually really like it, so.
Somebody had mentioned it earlier, and I was going to say the same thing, that this house was being foreclosed on, you were mentioning, and they had to pull all the furniture out, and there was nothing in the drawers, right? And I love that moment when Kylie's looking for this knife or looking for something to fend off these attackers, and there's nothing in the drawers.
Yeah.
And that was such a great tension moment.
Yeah.
And there's these beautiful moments you get from these,
crazy
accidental production situations, right?
Yeah, it was cool because it added to her sense of panic and urgency, right? Because when everything's everywhere, you have no idea where anything is. There's no logic. And
I was just so frustrated she dropped the baseball bat, honestly. I mean, outside the door. Anyway, but so...
Another fire that needed to be...
That was another fire.
That was another fire that we were fixing.
The baseball bat.
Yes.
It was supposed to... should we?
No, okay,
should
we'll keep it on the DL.
Keep it, yeah.
Okay,
we'll leave that one.
That was our
Don't want to
answer.
give away too much, right?
Dropping the bat was the answer to putting out a big fire.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, as you do, but
because you're shooting out a sequence, right? And unfortunately, in the mayhem of changing and redoing everything, we had shot the scene after that, before we shot this scene, and we didn't have the bat in her hands.
Right.
So we needed to put in.
Figure out a way.
We needed to put in a scene where she drops the bat.
Right.
so that she doesn't have it.
Yeah. But
And the
yeah,
next
again,
thing-
another great tension moment. There
Yeah.
it was. It was like, oh, she needs that bad.
Yeah.
So it's been doing great for you, right? I mean, I
Really
loved
well.
hearing about your premiere success. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Our world premiere was in Los Angeles in October.
Great.
And we were just so happy. I just remember all our pictures in the airport. We were just so happy that we got into this huge festival because it's in its 14th year, I think, right?
Yeah.
And we were just so happy to be a part of it. And then we got told that we got the closing night slot. So we were really excited about that. And then we ended up winning the grand jury prize for the best horror feature.
Oh, congratulations. That's fantastic. That's
Yeah,
great.
thanks.
It's pretty amazing. It was
Yeah.
my first time having a big movie in a festival, and then to win, like be on the closing night and win such a prestigious award, it was just like surreal.
Yeah.
Like we were just on cloud number 9 the whole time. It was
That's
amazing.
great. Well, and not to give away the ending of the film at all, but it felt very open, certainly to a sequel.
Yeah.
Are there any plans for sequels in development, or?
Yeah, we have Berkshire 2 and 3. 2's ready to go and 3's almost ready to go.
Fantastic. And how can we maybe hear more or see more of Berkshire County? Is there any plan for the film in Canada coming up?
Yeah, June 3rd. I think it's coming out June 3rd in 17 cities
Great.
across Canada at the Landmark Theaters.
Okay.
So it will be in 17 cities.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you guys. Thanks for your time,
Thanks.
okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming to Kingston.
Oh, we
Film
love
Festival.
This was a
Kingston.
pleasure.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Thanks.